Where have I been, huh? I know. I've been gone. I apologize, but things have gotten a little crazy. This computer here that we're talking on now is my main computer. I spent a couple grand on it and it flapped on me. After 7 months of using it, I can no longer code on it. So I had to pull out the old laptop, which is not the best. It's a small screen, it's a single screen, it's half as fast. And it's been really, really frustrating to my workflow. On top of that, I've had some issues with a client kind of ghosting and disappearing on me, needing to wrap that up. And I've also had to get some other clients in, all while doing this during the holidays. As you know, we have the family, all that good stuff. And so I've been balancing all that stuff, needed to put YouTube in the back end and specifically this project here. Also got kicked off of Reddit. So that's nice. I got my account hacked and then got kicked off of Reddit. And now it's back and they're sending me weird notifications that I didn't sign up for. So that's been a whole mess. But regardless, the biggest thing has been this computer. We're on the way to getting it fixed now. It's still not totally fixed. Dealing with Asus has been horrible, by the way. If you guys have any sort of experiences with Asus, let me know. I do not like them right now. They're on my bad list right now. Regardless of the interruptions to the workflows, I feel like I needed to update you guys on some cool things that have been developing in the business because you can still learn some things off of where I am in the space and all that. And then, if you guys are in the space as well, then maybe we're on the same track. I got kicked off of Reddit. I actually got hacked on Reddit, and these people started signing me up for pages that were not the most PG. And I got kicked off of Reddit, so that was kind of derailed. Then I had some client issues where someone went ghost on me, basically, which I hadn't really experienced. And it's been a weird game of cat and mouse since then. And then I've also had to bring on other clients who are demanding different types of projects. So my baby over here, the maintenance portal, has not been getting the love and care that I wanted to give it because we also have the holidays and family and stuff and all like that. But what I can tell you is I've gotten some interesting things that have happened in my business that I think can help you guys, hopefully in your business or your creations. Okay. Just real quick, for the sake of this one, I'm going to be moving forward with a couple of elements there. And then I'm also developing another tool in the financial space. I'm going to be running a small MVP with that one. And then if there's anything that kind of crosses over, I'll be making these edits, but it's still the same plan. Make it so it's customer facing and then release it and then start to get some more notes. And then we'll talk about monetization. But on to the juicy stuff for you. What I've been helping people with recently is adding more structure to their business. And this covers things like systems, sales systems, operation systems, offers, and so on and so forth. And everyone has their own way of doing things in this day and age. There's so many tools, there's so many places you can do stuff like this. And I want to show you, I guess, two examples because I noticed that that kind of in and of itself is part of the pain. The pain is that we don't really have this one place to have everything. And so I almost comically make these sort of places for my clients that says everything. And we make it super, super simple, right? Keep it simple, stupid, the old acronym that you may have known. And these are the types of things that I like to go through in order to help people understand their business on a very, very basic level. Because once you have this level of clarity, even though it's basic, you have the building blocks to be able to make something bigger. Okay. It's like not understanding what a brick is and how to use a brick and trying to build a wall or a castle. Understand the brick, understand the limitations of the brick, how many bricks you need, the shapes of the bricks, the things in between the bricks, and then you'll be able to build anything you want. And I think that's kind of the same idea with stuff like this. So this is what I've been helping businesses in. And I've noticed that Notion is a good place to do it. I personally have some stuff in Airtable and in Notion. That Notion I just showed you was a client's, and then this is mine in Airtable. This is what I want to show you guys because it's directly related to this industry. So if you're following along and you're trying to do something similar that I am, which is like creating tech solutions or connecting tech or creating these micro tools in tech, then Airtable is a good example of something that to me, it's a bit better than something that is like a Trello or something that is very basic on the task management level. It wants to be more with this addition of interfaces, which is interesting. And if you play with it, it can actually yield some pretty decent stuff. Having some conversations with some people that have built out some stuff that's actually kind of cool. But there is another level that I've unlocked and I'd like to show you guys. This new level is called Softr, SOFTR. And this is something that I started using because a client, well, potential kind of partner of some sorts is using this for their clients. And I looked into it. I thought this is quite simple. And one thing that I can really jam on, one thing that I can really do well on is things like Figma or Webflow or Framer, these kind of like drag and drop builders that are more for design. But this is actually a nice place that has design elements, design element thinking, that workflow of drag and drop, that workflow of kind of like design, plus the durability, the stability, the complexity, just enough complexity of databases and user authentication. Those things to me make this tool surprisingly probably my favorite tool for most businesses out there if they need internal small end portals. Okay. This is what I would consider light development, where you're making something like this potentially based off of a little bit of a template, but for the most part, you're kind of starting from the ground up, doing it hand in hand with your client. And then we have heavy development, which is things like you see on my typical website, which is going to be like complete custom interfaces and stuff. Now, the reason why I'm saying this about software is not because I'm tired of coding and stuff like that. I really love coding. But to me, coding like this, where you're doing completely custom things, completely custom API connections, screens, user interfaces, flows, and things like that, this is like taking the time to build an engine from the ground up. Literally every cylinder, every bolt, every head gasket, every piston, you're taking it all apart so you can understand it, clean it, sand it, know that you've touched every little element of it, and then putting the engine back together. Some of us enjoy doing that. Some of us enjoy doing that once or twice in your lifetime and never doing it again. And some of us don't want to go there. I think that for most people, most clients that I'm noticing, they don't really want to create an entirely new SaaS, take the time and effort it takes to really go through all the screens, the interactions, and all that stuff, because they have an entire other business that they're running, unless they're like a complete tech, focused people. If you have any sort of like side auxiliary tool, that custom development is overkill. Whereas if you have something that's like a portal, something that they want people to log into, they want people to get some information from, they want to use it as their own storage of data and stuff like that, then we do have this option software, where something like Monday, which would be a task manager or something like that, doesn't have the strength to get into the place of user authentication and then having multiple views, multiple users, and stuff like that. So that is why I've actually really liked this idea and why I'm going to be exploring it more personally. Okay. So the point of this video is twofold. One, to give you an update on the actual build of an MVP taking into market. Life got in the way, business got in the way. So that's it. Today is literally New Year's Eve, still working. Literally took a call about an hour ago. That's just the way I like to do it. Hopefully you guys have a good celebration. I'm definitely going to log off later tonight and have a good celebration with a cousin, a couple of family members and stuff like that. And, it's been an incredible year. Literally, secret time. Literally a year ago today, I ended up saying goodbye to my last girlfriend for the final time. Sucks that it ended up being on the holidays. I try not to do it, but a year ago today was the last time I've seen her and she's seen me. And that was a pretty big one, not going to lie to you. We're not going to get into the details, but it was one of those like potential lifelong partner sort of things. And so it's been crazy to look back on my year, see this thing that you see back here, behind you was not built. This was not created a year ago. None of these projects existed a year ago. And to know like the different experiences that I went through, being on a podcast, being on a couple different things, just serving these different clients, even the personal stuff I've had to go through in life. It's been up, it's been down, the biggest, highest highs, lowest lows type of year. And it's been incredible. And I'm thankful and I'm happy. But I'm also just kind of overwhelmed, if you will, a little tired. But if after a couple recharging days like these past weeks with Christmas and stuff, it's been nice. I can feel myself kind of getting that fire, re-energized and reinvigorated and realizing, what it's all for, like a bit of a bigger picture, which for now we'll just keep like that. Maybe in the future we can talk more about those personal things. But that being said, hopefully you guys have a great holiday. I'm going to go now and I'll talk to you later. Peace.